everyone, my name is Kirsten. So December has finally arrived. I mean, can you guys believe that 2017 is almost over? I know I'm personally ready for 2018 to arrive, but since December recently hit, I thought now would be the good time to start working on a November monthly favorites videos. Now, I know I haven't posted in the past couple weeks or so, but I'm gonna be back for now until I end up possibly traveling on vacation sometime. I'm not sure if it's all set in stone yet, but I will definitely let you guys know in the future. Also, if you guys are new to this channel and if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing to my channel with notifications on. I upload brand new videos on Fridays and sometimes every single weekend. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and dive right on into these 10 questions. Question number 1. What is the funniest thing that has happened to you? Do you guys want to hear something really funny about what happened to me this past month or two? Absolutely nothing. I know, funny, right? Because it's absolutely nothing to laugh about. I don't know, it's just kind of stupid for me to say that, but seriously though, it's not really much funny things have happened this month. I didn't really have much time to joke around or anything. Well, I mean, kind of, but some of them I kind of forgot. Question number 2 is, what books did you read? I was reading Rapture, and unfortunately I didn't have enough time to kind of finish it this month, simply because I was kind of busy and I was a little bit sidetracked on packing up and the like, so honestly I didn't have enough time to finish reading this book, but hopefully by next month that'll be completely finished whenever I get time to going around and start reading that book again. Question number 3 is, what movies / TV shows have you watched? So unfortunately I did not have enough time to watch any sort of TV shows this month. So instead, what I did was I focused on watching a few horror films in particular. So I know what else is new, right? But basically, I got to watch Stephen King's It, but unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the newest one. I got to watch the 1990s version of It, but hopefully in the future, I will be able to see 2017 It. I just thought it would be real fun to watch the original before I watched the remake. Other movies that I had a chance to watch, I got to watch The Big Sick. It was kind of cute, and it does incorporate funny moments in that movie as well. So I actually enjoyed that film so much. Other movies I had a chance to watch, I got to watch The Devil's Candy, which was surprisingly a really good movie because I had low expectations for that movie and it was surprisingly really good. I'll have to do a horror movie review sometime in the future and kind of briefly talk about it a little bit. Other movies I had a chance to watch is Contracted Phase 2, which was okay. I'm not too wild about it compared to the original Contracted. I also had a chance to watch Cabin Fever, which was also okay. I wasn't a huge fan of that movie to begin with. I also watched The Lazarus Effect, and I also watched It Follows. From then on there, I would say that is pretty much it. Question number 4 is, what is something that you did that made you proud of yourself? The month of November, I felt like I didn't really do anything that I felt was proud-worthy of. But recently, I started volunteering at my local library, and surprisingly, I enjoyed the type of job that I was doing, which was working with the children's department, which I never thought I would be able to enjoy doing. but I really liked it. It was very interesting. You know, I just thought volunteering would be a good idea at the moment simply because I just don't want to work just yet due to the whole moving situation, and I just didn't want to start a job and then just suddenly a couple months later just ends up moving to a different location. Do you know where I'm going with this? I just thought it would be a better idea to volunteer because with volunteer, I mean, you may not get paid for the position, but it's kind of good to stick with that position as long as you can and as long as you enjoy doing it. So volunteering was probably the best option that I headed for, pretty much. Question number 5 is, which games have you been playing? So if you guys have watched my, I believe, April monthly favorites videos, I explained in that video that I replayed Haunting Ground and I had a chance to play that game again simply because I enjoy playing that game so much, and also I kind of wanted to test that out on my new PlayStation 2 console since my PlayStation 3 just ends up taking a shit with the little yellow light of death, which is very upsetting, but kind of have to deal with what I'm working with at the moment, you know? I've also been trying out brand new games, which are PlayStation 2 games, and it was something I thought I would fill into my Resident Evil collection. So just recently I finished playing Resident Evil Code Veronica X, and I also had a chance to play Resident Evil Dead Aim. Now, as you guys know, I am a huge Resident Evil fan, and I was really happy that I got to purchase these two babies while I was on Amazon and actually gave them a pretty good go, because believe it or not, guys, I'm still stuck in the PlayStation 2 phase. I mean, I do play the PlayStation 3 and 4 at times, but you cannot go wrong with a good old classic, because a good old classic just never seems to go out of style, apparently. But seriously though, these games were pretty fun to play. Question number 6 is, did you travel anywhere? Unfortunately, I didn't, and I thought I was gonna travel down to Texas to kind of spend time with my aunt, but unfortunately it couldn't work out too well because of like the whole moving situation that we're starting to pile up. I think I'm expected to move from either last week of February, sometime in March, or somewhere around April, one of the two. I'm gonna be moving starting next year sometime, so I don't have a specific date. It's just one of those few months, that's all I know. But the sooner things get packed up and things get sorted, the sooner we can leave, I suppose. Unfortunately, I did not do any sort of travel this month. Just a few errands and meetings, and that was pretty much it. Nothing else too serious or special or anything. Question number 7 is, what foods did you try and loved? So there's quite a variety of foods that I had a chance to try out this month. One of them is, of course, tempeh, and to be honest with you, I never really knew what tempeh was until I've recently heard about it on a YouTube video at one point. So I decided to try it out, and it was honestly not too bad. It definitely gives out a little bit more texture compared to tofu, that is definitely for sure. I enjoyed eating it very much. Another thing I also had a chance to try out this month is the Beyond Meat Beast Burger, which was honestly pretty good. I've also heard about the other Beyond Meat Burger, which I wanted to try out, but unfortunately I kind of figured the small packagings of those things would kind of work out a little bit more better. I'll have to try out that other one too. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've also had a chance to try out a brand new fruit this month, and that particular fruit generally is called the, let me look on my phone real quick. I think it's pronounced Kiwano melon, which is interesting because when I first tried it out, it reminded me of kale in a more of like a jello form, I felt like. But then The strangest thing is the second time I had a chance to try it, especially since I saved the other half in the refrigerator the other day, surprisingly it tasted a little bit better. I've also had a chance to try out Pocky's cookie and cream flavoring, which was pretty interesting, I thought. I've also had a chance to try out the dark chocolate Kit Kat bars, which were honestly really good. It's really interesting to find out that they're starting to invent them into dark chocolate, because I prefer dark chocolate a little bit more better than I do with milk chocolate. Another thing I also had a chance to try out this month is actually a different form of tortilla chips. Basically, it is by a brand called Beanfield. It's basically like chips that are made out of pico de gallo beans and rice, and I thought that was really good. I enjoyed eating those type of tortilla chips very much. Another thing I also had a chance to try out is a burrito of some kind, and this brand I've never actually even heard of before. It is a burrito, and it's by a brand called Alpha Foods. Basically, it's nothing but like vegan-based options. So in this case, I decided to try out the Philly sandwich. Instead of like a Philly steak sandwich, it's in a burrito form, and surprisingly, it tasted really good, and surprisingly, it's hard to believe that it was vegan because it tasted really good. I enjoyed eating that very much. And of course, last thing I also got to try out, but definitely not least, that is, of course, rosemary. So over Thanksgiving, which as I am recording right now, it is actually yesterday that Thanksgiving happened. So for Thanksgiving, I incorporated some rosemary into my vegetables, but mostly with like potatoes and carrots. And honestly, not only does it smell good when it roasts in the oven, but it gives your vegetables a very nice taste. I absolutely love rosemary. I'm really glad that I had the creative idea to incorporate it with my vegetables this year for Thanksgiving, and honestly, I would like to use rosemary in the future too. That was honestly really good. Question number 8. What songs have you been listening to the most? Recently, I got to re-listen to Evanescence, but mostly because of the fact that Evanescence recently released a new album sometime this year, and that album is, of course, Synthesis, if I'm not mistaken. I personally love Amy Lee. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I made a post about how inspiring she really is, and just how beautiful that woman is, and how much I really admire her voice. Her voice is like listening to an angel when she sings. Amy Lee is a really amazing artist. And of course, with Synthesis, the interesting thing about this album generally is, of course, there was like a brand new song, which is Imperfection, but other than one new song, or maybe a few if I'm not mistaken, the rest are basically older songs, and it was almost like, I don't want to say remixed, but I felt like it was more like it was reimagined into like an orchestra version of some of her older songs, like with Lost in Paradise, Bring Me to Life, Lacrimosa, you know, those type of songs. It's very interesting to incorporate orchestra related background music, but regardless of what album or what songs Amy Lee brings in the future, I always love their music no matter what album comes their way. Between Evanescence and The Birthday Massacre, those two bands I could listen to all day, every day, and I could never grow tired of either one. Question number 9 is, do you have any favorite items for this month? And surprisingly, this month, I don't have anything to show that are particularly my favorites. Just been busy with a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't have anything new or exciting that I thought I would share with you guys, so probably better luck next time. I don't know, hopefully next month will be a little bit more interesting. Final question at number 10 is, what is something that you have learned? I learned that it's okay to be afraid of changes sometimes. So if you guys have seen my last updated video, you guys pretty much already know that the whole moving situation has been a little bit hectic for me, and it kind of got me a little bit busier with the whole packing up and things, which kind of explains the reason why I haven't really been posting any videos lately, was because of the whole moving situation. It's not that I ran out of ideas of what to film or whatnot, it's just the move has just been on my mind lately, and I've been kind of stressed out about this whole moving situation, I'm not gonna lie. When my folks decided to have this idea of moving down to Texas, at first when they thought about that, I was put off about it for a really long time. I was kind of worried about what area we were gonna be in, what it's gonna be like, and all this other type of stuff. But I think the more I think about it logically or realistically, the more I realized, fuck it, let's do it. Let's just go ahead and move to a different state already, because I've lived in California since I was 9 years old. I'm 26 now, and the whole entire time that I've lived in California, I feel like it hasn't really been the greatest experience for me. Currently, at the moment, California has become so expensive and just so ridiculous to live, and I'm just ready to move out of here and just move on with my life already. So in the beginning, I was afraid of the move, but the more I think about it realistically, the more I just really want to move as fast as I can. So that was one thing I got to learn this month. So that is pretty much it of everything I thought I would be sharing with you guys on what has been my favorite this whole entire month of November. I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to share for the whole entire month of November. So if you did, be sure to sucker punch that like button down below. Comment down below as well and let me know what you did for Thanksgiving and what has been your whole entire favorites for the past month of November. And of course, if you're new here and if you haven't already, please do dedicate the time and effort to subscribe to my lovely channel, join my little army of darkness, and if you hit that notification button, you will be updated with a brand new video every single Friday, for now at least, until I end up moving, because I wish I could post every single weekend, but with like the whole packing up situation and things, you pretty much understand, right? So it'll be every single Friday until I end up moving, or maybe I'll just stick to uploading just on Fridays alone, so you never know. I could change my mind in the future, perhaps. If you guys are interested in following me outside of YouTube, all of my social medias will be listed in the description box right down below if you are indeed interested in checking them out yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a completely chill week, an awesome day or night, and I will talk to you all soon in the next video. So until then, stay completely dark and so fucking brutal and awesome, my friends. Take care. Bye for now.